Hello everyone and welcome to another Keep Safe on the Net video on YouTube.
This is Brandon Burleston. Brandon wants to build up a proper long-term relationship with his victim. Unfortunately, he chose Seraphina as his victim. Seraphina isn't interested in having a long-term distance relationship. He introduced himself to Seraphina on Facebook, saying, "I stumbled across your profile," as you do. "So I thought I should say hello, and as well get to know if you care to chat." "I'm happy to chat," said Seraphina. "It is getting late here in the UK and I really need to go to bed. Can I chat to you tomorrow?" "It's okay, dear," he said. "Have a good night rest, dear." The following morning, he politely asked, "How was your night, if I may ask?" "I don't know," said Seraphina. "I was asleep. How was yours?" "'Twas all right, thank God," he said. "I really love to know more about you." Seraphina told him that she lived in Glastonbury in Somerset in the UK, and he told her that he lived in New York. He said, "Right now I'm divorced and completely unattached, and would be glad if I encounter a woman of good attitude, self-respect and ambition." Seraphina was feeling mischievous and said, "Do you have a good attitude?" "No man is perfect, so I would say. At my best, I have a good attitude, dear," he replied. "My last date was horrible, so much because she was cheating on me. That is why we're not together. Caught her with my friend having a secret affair, and she even got pregnant for him." "Oh dear," said Seraphina, "that was horrible," and then, returning to teasing him about his previous question, said, "Do you have ambition?" "Yes, dear, I do, of course," he said, not telling her what his ambitions were. At this point in the scam, Seraphina often finds herself talking to Google. But this man decided to quote from the Bible instead. He said Proverbs 31, "A man who is strong but not overbearing, loyal, respectful, kind and sweet, that carry himself like the king he is in all situations." "I do like a man that's respectful," said Seraphina, "and knows how to treat a lady." "Okay, dear," he said. Then he asked Seraphina, "What do you do for a living, dear?" She told him, "I'm a spiritual lady. I work to bring peace and harmony to people's lives. I also make my own knitwear and sell it. What about you?" "Such a nice and special thing you do, dear," he said. "I work in US Army Disarm My MOS, Explosive Ordnance Disposal EOD Specialist Jobs 89D Bomb Disposal. I hope you're following that, because I don't think I am." "Oh my word," said Seraphina. "That sounds dangerous." "LOL, not really, my dear. It's fun, really." "Fun?" said Seraphina. "Bomb disposal is fun? I'm a peaceful lady. That sounds horrible, but someone has to do it, of course." He asked Seraphina how old she was, and she told him she was 50, and he said, "I'm 45. I am the only child of my parents, 5'7" tall, weight 181 pounds, and then said, "Can you chat on WhatsApp, dear?" Seraphina doesn't use WhatsApp, but she suggested that they change to Hangouts. The scammers will almost always do this, because they know that Facebook is likely to shut down their fake account. Over on Hangouts, he fell into a groove, asking Seraphina all kinds of random questions and quoting random sayings, including, "Good morning, dear. A beautiful day is waiting outside just for you. Open your eyes and experience the excellence of nature around you." "Good morning," she said. "You're right, it's a lovely morning here. The sun is shining, so I'll probably go for a walk later." "That's nice, dear," he said. "I'm happy to hear from you, dear. How are you today?" "I'm good, thanks," she said. "I'm sitting drinking a cup of my herbal tea and eating toast." "That's nice, dear," he said. "I hope no one is bothering you." "Why would anyone be bothering me?" asked Seraphina. "Any purpose, of course, dear. I may never know," he said. He said, "Do you love listening to music, dear?" She said, "Oh, I do love music, yes. I'm a classical music lover. I love choral music and organ music and early chamber music. What about you? What kind of music do you like?" "Oh, that's nice, dear," he said. "Mostly classical music lover." Some of you may remember the video I posted a few weeks ago about Robert Dossier. Robert Dossier likes classical music, he told me, especially the symphonies by that well-known composer. Well, I'm not going to spoil it. Go and find his video. And what kind of classical music do you think Mr. Burleston likes? Eros Ramazzotti, Robbie Williams, Billy Joel, Marian Anderson, Willie Nelson, and lots more. He continued chatting on and off for a few more days, asking her more random questions, including, "What is one thing you've never done but have always wanted to do?" "Go to New Zealand," said Seraphina. "What about you?" "Well, this may sound crazy," he said, "but I have always wanted to ride a bull like in the rodeo." "I wonder if you can do that in New Zealand," said Seraphina. "I don't think so," he said. "Maybe there might be a spot. Are you the type that like learning new things?" "Oh, yes," she said. Until one day he came over all romantic. "Hey, Seraphina," he said, "there's something I've been meaning to ask you since the day I met you, but I felt it's too early to begin with that. Meeting you is a thing of joy to me. Getting to know you is a blessing to me. So many things I love and adore in you. Your beauty, your smile, your personality, your understanding, and everything about you. I've been wondering if you could be the love of my life. My heart pounds for you. I can't compare you to the other ladies I've met lately, because they are no way up to your standards. Do me the honour of saying yes, and I will make sure you be the greatest woman in my life, and I be the greatest man in your life. Heart, 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 heart." "Ah, what a lovely man." "Oh, my goodness," said Seraphina. "You've made me go all weak. Yes, of course, my darling." "I love you so much, my love," he said, "and I promise you I will be honest and sincere with you, because you are my sweetheart and also future wife. Okay?" "When will you be able to come home, my darling?" said Seraphina. "In 2 months' time, my love. I'll be back home to stay with you." "That's so long to wait," she said. "Could you get leave before then to come and visit?" "Sorry to say, dear," he said, "we're here for a mission. I can't leave until it's done, dear. I really want to meet you too. Love, I really love you much, and I promise you I will never fail you or let you down, because you are my future wife. Okay?" "Okay," said Seraphina. "I'll just have to be very patient." "Yes, my love," he said. "Can you have that patience for me?" And if Seraphina had been patient for 2 months, I actually think this scammer would have carried on making small talk for 2 months. But it wasn't long, well, it took another week, before Seraphina got bored with random conversations about shopping, whether anything interesting had happened today, what the goals of her life were, and other deep, meaningful questions, and decided it was time to move things along. "You say the sweetest things," she said. "It's just so frustrating that we can't be together. I'm not sure that I'm the right person for a long-distance relationship. I really don't think I can wait 2 whole months to meet you. I'm seriously thinking of calling off our relationship. I'm sorry, but long distance just isn't working for me." "Just be patient for me, babe. You're part of my life now, and I can't afford to lose you so soon, dear. I will find a way to come much earlier, babe. I really, truly love you. Let's try and make it work, dear." "Please find a way," she said. "Can't you get just a few days' leave? I'm going to light a candle and burn some special oils for enlightenment to help me make the right decision." "Good morning," she said the next morning. "I meditated last night, and I lit 3 of my candles for enlightenment. I'm sorry, but our long-distance relationship just isn't working for me. I'm going to call it off. I can't go on with our relationship if we can't meet." Loverboy was totally heartbroken. Some days may come when we will wish we can fall out of love and fall in love with another, but a day like that will never come with you by my side, for I'm committed to you, and my heart and mind know nothing than to stick with you. I'll never let you go, my love. Darling! Cry, 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 cry. Please don't let me go. Cry, cry, cry. I really love you, darling. I've never been so much in love as of now, my love. Oh dear, he's heartbroken. Sniff, sniff. "No," said Seraphina, "I'm truly sorry, but I've thought about this a lot. I've never had a distance relationship before, and this just isn't working for me." After another paragraph of excuses, Seraphina said, "We have to meet. I just can't do this otherwise. If you really love me, come and meet me. Otherwise, I'm beginning to think you're just playing me along because you're bored. I'm sorry, but I really am going to call off our relationship." "I will file for leave in a few weeks, babe. I promise you," he said. "We have a little operation in the base going on now. I promise to come see you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, babe. Don't let me go. I love you so much. I know you love me too. Give this a chance. Please, babe." A few weeks doesn't mean anything, said Seraphina. I need to know when, otherwise it's off. I don't believe you any more. Babe, he said, what happened that you don't believe me any more? Why? I told you, she said, I just can't do this relationship without meeting you, and keep saying a few weeks, sometimes in a few months, but I don't believe you actually want to come, otherwise you'd give me a proper date and apply for leave. But you won't, will you? You're playing with my emotions. I believe that age, language and distance is not a barrier or a problem here, he said. I am a passionate man who carries so much love and fun in my heart and mind. So it's off, said Seraphina. I'm sorry, but if you can't or won't give me a date, I don't want to talk to you any more. And what has language got to do with it? You see, you're making silly excuses. But babe, he said, I have to talk to the General today, and I'm going to give you free back. Babe, it's not easy over here. I have to follow the rules and protocols. OK, she said, one last chance. Talk to the General today, or it's off. Babe, I also can't wait to be with you, he said. I'm so hurt that you don't trust me. Because you know I have seniors over here. I have to take their command before I can do anything, babe. Now you're making excuses again, she said. You see, I was right. You don't want to come, do you? Go away and stop talking to me. Either tell me what your General says today, or stop talking to me. Babe, calm down, he said. I also want to be at Other You. Why are you saying all this, babe? Anything the General says later tonight, I'll let you know, babe. Don't really like the way you're talking to me, babe. It hurt me so much. Sad face. Have you spoken to the General? Asked Seraphina later that day. Yes, I spoke to the General, he said. But, babe, the General told me I have to apply for a leave before I can leave the camp. Of course, said Seraphina. That I have to pay for the leave. And I don't have money here with me, you know. I can't control my account over here, and my lawyer is not here. I don't know if you can talk to the General yourself, because he told me money for the leave and flight will be charged. How would I do that? Asked Seraphina. Do what, babe? He asked. Talk to the General or what? Talk to the General, she said. That's what you asked, isn't it? Finally, he came up with an email address for his General. I've emailed him, said Seraphina. OK, babe, he asked. What did you tell him? This is what I said, and she copied and pasted it. Mr. Burleston has asked me to email because he needs to apply for leave to come and visit me in England. What do I have to do? OK, he said. Wait for his reply, babe. I will, she said. This is so exciting. Why, babe? He asked. Get a grip, man. Get a grip. The General replied. Seraphina said, I've had a reply, but I don't think your General understood. I expect he was busy and answered in a hurry. This is what he said. OK, that's nice. Can you please send your ID card before proceeding? We have to know who you are. Seraphina said, I don't have an ID card. I live in the UK. And anyway, it's you that needs the form, not me. Just email him and tell him that I'm the person you asked to contact him. Please, people, don't ever send your ID card of any kind to people that randomly ask you for them online. They simply use them to help scam other victims. Realising that Seraphina wasn't going to be tricked into sending her ID, the General replied again. OK, to apply for a leave at this moment, we charged you about $3,000 and his flight fee, because he explained everything to me. This is the only help we can offer right now, dear Seraphina. Seraphina replied and asked the General how much the flight cost. Then she messaged Brandon and said, I've asked him how much the flight will cost. OK, he said. What did he say? She said, I think your General's phone has made a mess of his message. I didn't understand a word he said. I'm sorry, this not only flight we have to put a soldier to cover him up before he comes back to the camp. That's why it's like that. This is what he said before, she said. To apply for a leave at this moment, we charge you about $3,000 and his flight fee. So I asked him how much the flight would cost so I could add it up. His answer doesn't make any sense at all. Babe, he said, what he was trying to say is that everything will have to pay his $3,000. The conversation then descended into farce, because obviously the scammer had to find a way to ask Seraphina to pay him. The General wrote back. What? Said Seraphina to Brandon. He says we accept payment by Bitcoin. Is that the local currency in Afghanistan? Why not US dollars? Babe, he said, you know everything now is technology. Yes, she said, I have online banking. I guess it's because it's the fast payment, he said. So it is the local currency in Afghanistan, she asked. Yes, he said, but we do spend my Bitcoin over here. That didn't make sense either, said Seraphina. Are you playing silly games with me? Just tell me where to send the money and what currency to send it in. Baby said, I guess you should get a Bitcoin and send to him so he can prepare my flight form early. Okay. Seraphina googled currency in Afghanistan and discovered that one Afghani is worth 0.013 United States dollars. Now you aren't making any sense at all, she said. The Afghanistan currency is the Afghani. If that's a Bitcoin and you only want one, that's less than 1 US cent. Yes, I know her maths was wrong. Stop playing silly games with me. You could probably find a 1 cent coin in your pocket. I don't get I'm playing silly games with you, he said. Well, you said a Bitcoin is the currency in Afghanistan, and you said send him a Bitcoin. Babe, he said helpfully, all what they get to the camp here is brought from US. I don't think they get anything here, because their money is useless. So, she said, make up your mind about what you're asking me to do. Stop playing silly games and tell me how to pay and in what currency. Our general is from us, not here, babe, he said. She said, so you want me to pay in US dollars, not the local Afghan Bitcoin, whatever that actually is. Oh, and is that local slang, like a bit of a coin, because it isn't worth very much? Babe, he said, you don't know what's Bitcoin? You told me it's the local currency in Afghanistan, she said. No, he said, Bitcoin is generally used in any country, babe. I've never heard of it, she said. I can pay you in US dollars. This pointless discussion went on and on and on and on, until finally he said, Babe, I just finished asking the general now. He told me that the military account can't accept money from UK, only in US. Seraphina said, so the US military can't accept money from overseas? Your general's a liar. Sorry, you'll have to stay in Afghanistan. Goodbye. Babe, he said, everyone knows you can't send money from a UK account to a US account. Everyone doesn't know that, she said. I've sent money to the US and many other countries from my bank account and sent a screenshot of the HSBC bank page telling you how to make overseas payments. Lots more fruitless argument ensued, with Seraphina repeatedly telling him that he was lying and so was his general. And then finally, our man managed to find a colleague who had access to a money mule, and so finally sent Seraphina details of a US bank account. And that was the end. He's still waiting. You can carry on waiting.
I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like it, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another Keep Safe on the Net video on YouTube.